Any other discussion?
I just had a question. Is this the same amount or is there a change in the amount that?
It's the same.
Okay,
And where would this be taken from? Where would this 10,000 be taken from?
Miscellaneous contracts.
okay. I ask a motion to allow the administrator to enter into agreement with the Fourth Circuit Public Defender for legal services.
I said,
So moved and second, all in favor? All right, thank you. Okay, Mr. Simon, item 10B.
Mayor and council members, the next item on our agenda is an item I hate to actually bring before you tonight, but it is very necessary and we want to be very transparent with our public. And it is about our disaster assistance program. South Carolina Housing required the city, if you can recall, a few months back to enter into a new agreement that excludes all homes located in the floodplain. So this is the $1.7 million that we were awarded to help people fix homes that had issues associated with storm damage. And we got started with that process. And if you can recall, we simultaneously had another program that we were administering called the buyout program, where we had gotten money from the state to make offers for people to sell their homes to actually remove them from that risk area. Those two programs were butting up against each other. And so what the state did is they decided to come in and apply an additional filter with the DAP program, where they removed all eligible homes from participation. Homes that are in the floodplain, it made them ineligible. So when we did the initial application in order to get awarded the $1.7 million, the way they determine how much they award you is they look at the number of homes that you have or you could potentially fix. We included all of those homes that we knew about, or applicants, if you will, that were in the various neighborhoods and in floodplain. So you see how initially we were awarded that money because we had those homes in the floodplain and they needed some help. And then when they adjusted the program, taking those homes out, that was 60% of the people that we could help became ineligible. So where we are today is the South Carolina Housing just recently had a round of meetings with all of the communities that they awarded the money to. Some of the communities have spent all their money and wanting more. Some of the communities have not spent all the money. Some are struggling spending the money, particularly when they went in and applied this filter as far as making homes that are in the floodplain ineligible. With that being said, there is no way at this point, because there is a deadline on the program. We've gotten a verbal approval, but we haven't gotten that officially yet. I think I announced that to all of you and said that when we get that, I would share that information with you. But we're not going to be able to spend all that money because those applicants are ineligible. Now, let me say this for our public. That is for that one program called the Disaster Assistance Program. However, SC Housing is working hard with us to transition those who are ineligible for the DAP program into a new program called the Critical Home Repair, where those homes would be eligible. And we're in the process of doing that right now. The only difference between those two programs is it requires more documentation. So let's say we processed an application for you and we took you through the DAP program and we got ready to make repairs on your home. And then the state come in and said, well, wait a minute, that particular home is now ineligible because it's in the floodplain. However, we can roll them into the critical home repair program, but you're gonna need X, Y, and Z regarding documentation in order for them to be now eligible for the critical home repair program. So the money here that we're talking about allowing another community to take advantage of is strictly related to the disaster assistance program. It doesn't mean that we won't still be able to help people. It means that we will have to transition those homes into the new program, and we're gonna have to work with the homeowners to collect more information. And I think I had a little bit of conversation with all of you about this when we talked about the housing coordinator, and all that good stuff. But that is where we are. So we're being realistic in this award, because one way or another, we're not gonna spend it before the deadline because of that, Philip.
All right. Councilor Scott.
Yeah, I want to get a good understanding on this, because in the beginning, like you said, this was offered to the people in those areas. The people in well, let's call the names, the Shady Rest and Richmond Park area. And then they came back, and the main people that would benefit from this, they took this away from them, because with the buyout plan, they want everybody to move from that area. So they saying it don't make sense for them to repair houses. So they took them out. And now when we come with this other plan, the people that was approved to start with, they did the paperwork. They did all that stuff. And now you're saying with this program that's coming up, they're gonna have to provide more paperwork. And they get the first part done. A lot of people say that it was hard. So when they come with this part, seems like they could use the information that they had before if they really want this to go to work. Because you give the people in those areas something, then you come and take it back from them, then you offer them something else, but then you make it go harder. And I know this is coming from another agent, but the people in those areas really, they really don't care who it's coming from. The outcome is that they're not getting any help. And they can come in with this program that we're going to provide with them and do the same thing, can't you?
I mean, yeah, I guess they could. But I'll just say this. South Carolina Housing, I mean, they are our partners. And I want to be careful and not be, just as administrator, be critical of the agency. They explained to us why they did it. And to a certain degree, we understood. We didn't agree, but we understood, because they were struggling with buyout versus fixing up home. We did share with them, because we know our community, and we did share with them that we understand what they want, but just understand some of our residents, that is their biggest asset. They have homes that have been in their families for years, and that is what they cherish, and their choice may be to stay. And with that being said, if they choose to stay, they should have the option, just like everybody else, of getting their home repaired. So we did share that information with the agency. So we want to continue being a partner with them, because they have committed to us and are working with us on a daily basis to roll as many people, as many as they can, over into the new program. Just to let you know, the money is sitting there from the state, ready to come to us. The issue we're having is collecting the documentation. Is it fair to go back to residents and say we need additional documentation? Probably not, but are we doing all we can and really trying to just appeal to our residents to say, work with us help you. that's kind of where we are. So again, I don't have a designated person on it. We just have many staff members kind of on a part-time basis, just kind of working on this stuff. I think Mrs. Lucas and Mr. Rivers kind of stopped what they were doing today, and they spent the day working on it, calling homeowners and things of that sort. So we're trying to do the best that we can. The opportunity is still there for homes to be repaired. This is a setback, but the opportunity is still there. I will say this also, the critical home repair program is not, from a structural standpoint, is not as stringent of administering as the DAP program. The DAP program had a different set of criteria for how those contracts were to be administered. Critical home repair is a little bit easier. Second advantage is the critical home repair actually offers more money per dwelling. Now, that would have to be eligible repairs. That doesn't mean they just come in and will give every single home on X amount of dollars. So, but I didn't want to get too far in the weeds on the critical home repair. I do want our public to understand what has happened and not get them too discouraged, because I want them to know that there is a way forward. It is going to be a little bit more work.
Well, I don't want to discourage anyone either, but we had someone in place. We were trying to get someone to do this full time, for we can put more attention to the people in those areas. And that falls on us. That falls on the city, because now we know that these taxpayers, even though that they are in those areas, they still pay taxes. And we need to try to provide someone, and like I said, you can't work people to death and get good results. We need to have somebody concentrating on this. And we fail to do that. We need somebody on this instead of pulling someone from the light bill place. We need someone to focus on these citizens in those two areas.
Hold on. Ms. Jennings had his hand up earlier, then Councilman Craig, then I'll come back over there.
Where are we on the homes that are not in the floodplain? We still have some homes that were expecting some help that have not gotten any, that are not in the floodplain.
Yeah, we are still processing those applications.
So is it still doable?
They are
Is the
still.
program still in place? Can we
Yes.
still get them done?
Yes,
Isn't the deadline July 31st?
yes, but they've told us that they're gonna give us an extension. They're just trying to make sure that we make progress before they get to that extension, because they wanna know that we can get it done with the administrative help.
All right, Councilman.
Okay, so hold on, you just say they want to make sure that you can get it done with the administrative help that you have.
Mhm.
Can you elaborate on that?
So while we're still processing those who are outside of the floodplain, who are still eligible for disaster assistance, and that money is still there, the focus is more so on the ones we've done, because we've already gone in and done some repairs, if you can recall, and paid contractors. And the program was a reimbursement program. So now the way it works is, after you've done that work, you collect that information and you send it in for reimbursement. And so two things happen. They transition us, well, they put that filter on there as far as the floodplain, and then they offered up this second program. So an already muddy water came along and threw a little bit more mud in there. So it's not as straightforward as we would like for it to be. We can get it to that point, just gonna require a little bit more time and effort on our part. But some of the circumstances we cannot control. So to answer your question directly, Mr. Jennings, for those who are outside of the floodplain, who may want to take advantage of the disaster assistance program, can still do so. And if we're granted that extension, everything goes well. But that's not that many people.
I didn't say it was
Yeah.
any, I just know some.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been told for months that we were gonna do something.
So,
Okay, I would have to check on that, but I know SC Housing is more like, we wanna work with y'all to do new homes, but we need for you to get this paperwork in for those pending homes. That is what's holding up them giving us the official extension or not.
So
So-
aren't we talking
Oh,
about rescinding the grant
hold on.
money?
All right,
so I got like 3 quick things. So you just said they want to know if you can get it in. I'm trying to listen to everybody. And you said we got a deadline of July 31st. And that's almost coming up. Right down the road. So it's the 21st right now. So where are we with this?
We've submitted all the pending projects to them. They've reviewed those projects first round. They came back yesterday and said, these are the projects we've reviewed, and this is where we're still missing X, Y, and Z, and highlighted and gave us information for each project, and said in order to continue, I need those things done. They've committed to us that if we can get these pending projects right, so that we can get reimbursement for the money that we've already paid out, they would extend and allow us to continue to move forward.
So how many of those homes were in this floodplain that we invested our money into contractors that we won't get back?
No, we'll get it back. It's just that we have to go through this process, and that answer is 22.
And how many of those 22 homes are rental
Good
homes?
start. Councilman Davis was next.
What can we do? I don't think I would do it. I said 3 things, I did 2. I had 1 more to go. All right, and so Councilman Scott was saying that they were approved and then they took it back. So how can you be approved for something and then get unapproved? That's what I'm trying to understand about this program. Or in other words, if you say I'm gonna get this and you don't approve me, what's the issue now that, I can do this?
SC Housing came back and chose to apply that filter.
So was it something that we didn't do or?
No, it had nothing to do with what we did or didn't do. It was actually a good problem. It was because we were administering another program that was butting up against the 2 programs were conflicting.
So what happened if we don't approve this? They give that 900,000 back?
Yeah, this is just doing it voluntarily. If you don't do it, you get to the deadline and you don't spend the money and you don't get it anyway.
Yeah.
So are we gonna get back our money that we invested in it?
We will.
All 330,000?
I don't know if we're gonna get all of it yet. I don't wanna overcommit you. They are doing a review process right now. It looks really good. We're giving them pending documentation. We anticipate getting most of that money back. I think Mrs. Hart was gonna ask about rental property.
So why not all?
All right, one of the things, the reason why is because one of the things that we found that that makes you immediately ineligible is if you're renting your property. You must be a home owner, and you have to prove that. And we've had some situations where, and I don't want to go into too much details just because I don't know where this is going to land, where we had applicants to submit false information.
Okay.
And it got processed as such, repairs were done, and when it went to the state says ineligible.
Okay. Councilman Davis and then Councilman.
Simple. What can we do as a council to move this on a little further and help out? You say you had 2 people that were doing the application and that was streaming. I think you come to us one time before asking the council that you needed help with this process. Did you not come to us and ask us for help because you needed someone to string these applications to help and move it along?
Yeah.
What can we do to make it? We get tied up right there with when people really need help. We as council, that's where we fall at, where administrator come to us and ask us and say, we need people to put in these positions. And then once he tell us this, then we back away from it and we start spinning the ball right back again. People in Shady Rest need help. People in Richardson Park need help. Ben need help. They are waiting for help. We should get right together now. Whatever we need with the administration, get behind him and let's get the job done. Because they are not going to play around. Sure, you're going to make mistakes with this because some people didn't do application. I know about all of that. Been working with it for such a long time, hoping that it's going to come through. These are the things that we need to get on as right now. Give us and tell us what you need from the council to make this work.
I so appreciate that. In order to make this work, I would ask that council, for one, not panic over what you're reading as far as giving back $900,000. Keep in mind the way this program is administered, it is a reimbursement program. You get that money after you have gone through that process with the home. So it's not like we've collected this money and now we're giving it back. It just means that we're modifying the award. Think of it as that point. You're not accepting as much, but you're not giving any money back. So there's nothing that's coming from your budget or anything like that. If you really want the help, allow the administrator to hire somebody part-time and temporary, like we talked about before. We have outstanding people that we can screen really quickly and get us on board and can really, on a daily basis, work towards that. The good thing about that is with the DAP program, there's a deadline. With the critical home repair, there is no deadline. That money will be there as long as the department is funded. So once we start really getting pivot from DAP, which was more storm related and specific storm related, and pivot to more critical home repair. And this is why I don't want to be too critical of SC Housing, because when they did this, they was thinking about this. When they put the critical home repair program in place, they were thinking about how can we help people beyond that criteria that we must satisfy with the federal government as far as it being associated with storm damage, it being located in a certain area. So we're going to need someone to actually continue this at least for a little while. So I was thinking a couple of months would help us put a big dent in this thing. Ideally, if everything works out, this is what we would like to do. We would like to move forward with not collecting all of that $900,000 because realistically, the entire award amount, because realistically, we're not going to be able to spend that money after they apply that filter. We would like to move forward. We're getting a part-time position in called a housing coordinator that can help us transition or continue with the pending homes and make sure we get our reimbursement, and then start working with everyone who can be now eligible for the critical home repair. There is no floodplain versus non-floodplain criteria for the critical home repair. And then we would just ask that, you just support us on that. We'll provide you updates. I will tell you, I'm working close with the executive director from the state. He did mention that a few of your council members have called. I would ask that we pivot from trying to find blame on something, and let's kind of work together and get the program back on track. Did administration make mistakes? I'll be the first one to tell you we probably did make some mistakes. Did SC Housing make some mistakes? Yes. We told them, yes, they guys made some mistakes. Did they admit that? Yes, they said yes. We understand it was difficult. There were some things we didn't know because it was a fairly new program for us. And how can we all work together? So I'm working very, very close with the executive director from the state. I know him personally, and we can get this thing back on track. Before you tonight, it's just an administrative step. If you do nothing, we're fine. You don't get the money anyway. So this is my way of putting this thing on the agenda tonight and bringing it back before all of you so we can be transparent with all of you and the public. So everyone knows what we're doing.
If we're gonna send the money back, why do we need a part-time person?
So you still need a part-time person because when you not only are we dealing with these pending projects with the DAP, but we're gonna be transitioning these people into the critical home repair. The critical home repair has no deadline. We can continue to help people throughout the year.
Right.
So that's, you need that help, because with the, why would you say no?
Go ahead, I'm gonna come back when it's my time,
Yeah, I
I'm
got
gonna come
you.
back.
All right.
It ain't adding up to me.
With the critical home repair, there's more information that we need. Listen, we can just do nothing. If you want to, we can just forfeit both programs. It's voluntary.
No, we ain't broken.
No,
Councilwoman Hart.
no. I think,
Hold on, Councilman.
well, I wouldn't finish.
Councilwoman
I would never finish. I've
Oh.
been quiet. I've
Oh,
been
okay,
real quiet.
okay, all right,
I
you
don't
wouldn't
say a
finish.
lot, but when it comes to this, we need to get this going. He said that you need help. I just asked him, talk to the council, just verbally said that whatever we could do to help the administrator to move this forward. And he just told us that he would be maybe somebody part-time, maybe to screen the application. I need for you to say, Mr. Administrator, I need you to tell us exactly what you need. And I'm gonna make a motion and put it out there and let the council help you move this forward. We don't need to push back from this. This is money that the residents and the constituents in Shady Rest and Richardson Park need. And this got to come to a head. Tonight, let's get it to a head. It need to come to a head. Mr. Administrator, what do you need? Do you need somebody to help you move this forward? Screen the application, whatever you need.
Mr. Davis, respectfully, I don't want y'all to fight over something so minor.
It's not minor,
Okay,
respectfully, it's not minor.
Excuse me, Ms. Best.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Respectfully, I don't want y'all to fight over something so minor from a standpoint that I've already articulated to all of you what I need. Well, I've already said to you over and over that we need part-time help to do it. I've already told all of you that we're pulling people off of their job every day to do it. I don't know how many more times I need.
And I understand that, and that's the reason why it was a critical point right here to talk about it. The public is listening. They hear me saying and asking you what you need to stream this and make this work so it can go smoothly again. I understand. Piggyback off Ms. Hart. Ms. Hart said something earlier. And once I get wind up, I can't hardly stop. Ms. Hart said something earlier about the rental property. Back with the SC housing, they said that they could rent it. They'll be the first one out. It was a lot. They made a lot of mistakes with that, Ms. Hart. They said we could do a lot. Once they say you can keep the land, they say you could do all of these things. There's been 7 different promises they have promised that we could do, and it haven't panned out yet. But Mr. Administrator got a plan right now that I think can nip it in the butt and people can get money and move forward if we give him the help that he needs.
Yes, the housing coordinator will not only help us move fast and get these reimbursements that's owed to us, but it will allow us to transition more people into the critical home repair program, and we can proceed with the program. That's our intention, which is why we're using different staff members to do it. And in full transparency, if y'all decide not to do that, and I know that's not up for a decision tonight, we're still gonna just move forward with using individual staff members to the best of our ability, to try and get more people help. That's what we're gonna do as administration.
Okay, council, you heard what he asked you.
But I know that's not for y'all tonight.
I know,
Right,
I
it's not
understand,
for us.
I understand, I'm through.
All right. Councilwoman Hart.
So I talked with Mr. McDonald today to get some clarification on this. And so I just want to clarify, what homes have been repaired, I believe 22, correct? That the city has paid for, that we have not been reimbursed by DAP or any other program. The
That's
city has
correct.
paid for those repairs, and that amounts to how much that we paid out the
I don't
contractors
have
for
it in front of
repairs?
me, it's anywhere between 300 and 400,000.
Mhm. I'm having trouble, number one, understanding how we thought that homes that qualified for the buyout program would also be eligible for repair. Because we know those are in a floodplain, which means flooding is imminent in those areas. So, you know, I looked at the website and the information online for this program when it was initiated, and I was really confused about why the state would pay to repair homes that qualified for the buyout program that are in a floodplain. And I'm also confused about why, you know, we would think that homes that are not occupied would qualify for these repairs. I mean, that seems obvious to me that, you know, we know the homes have to be owner occupied. So how many do we know that we've already paid for that are rental properties or not owner occupied?
So that number is 3.
And they're not gonna qualify for the critical repair
They're not
program,
gonna qualify at all. It's not for rental property at all.
but we've already paid for those
We've
repairs.
already paid for those,
And
and I don't have that number in front of me. We'll have to figure out how we wanna go after that. That's not a mistake on our part. That's inaccurate documentation that was submitted to us. And just to let you know. Now, to go back to your original question, trying to figure out how to answer this. When you said how you don't understand how homes in a floodplain could be considered for repair. My question would be, why wouldn't you consider them for repair?
Because when I go online at the SC housing website, it seems obvious to me that this program is not, you know, would not reimburse us, would not pay to repair homes that were eligible for the buyout program.
No, that was not the criteria in the beginning.
And in the beginning, we
That was
was
not criteria.
approved to do that.
Yes.
Now, the state came back and changed, and we couldn't help that. We only could do what we was doing. In the beginning, they said that they would pay in the flood area and told us, as a matter of fact, encouraged us to pass that on to the ones that was in the flood area. Now, for them
That
to
are
come
eligible
back,
for the buyout program?
exactly, they was doing the buyout and they was doing, the DAP program. So it was approved.
So all the homes that we've actually done the repairs on are,
was in the beginning approved with that, the buyout program. That was 2 separate, different, programs.
all of these homes.
Yes. And if you ask Mr. McDonald, he'll tell you that. He won't deny that. Ask him. Were those homes that we initially submitted an application for and actually did repairs for in that first round, were they initially approved for funding? He's gonna tell you, yes, we came back and we were considering the buyout and they applied a new field. They made us sign a new agreement.
Okay.
We brought it before council and everything.
Let's do this. Let's get back to what the motion is, and I'm gonna put a motion out to approve the administrator to reduce the acceptance of the award by $900K to the South Carolina Housing due to the restrictions placed on the program.
I second the motion.
Okay, all right. Motion been made and second. All in favor? Okay. All opposed?
Still have a question, I didn't get that.
Wait a minute, you raise your hand.
I'm in favor.
Wait a minute.
Okay, let's do it. All in favor? All right, keep your hands up. Thank you. All right, all opposed? All right,
And I would like to say about the same, because I am just confused overall about what we have going on here. And we at the 9th hour, July 21st, and just hearing about it, so.
okay.
Mayor, if I could provide just a little clarification to Mr. Councilman Craig.
No, we don't got to do,
You won't think that we are we kind of tell people that but it's real-time decisions that the SE Housing make. We just found out recently ourselves that there was an option here. We're finding out on a weekly basis what our options are.
We just found out last week that
A lot of times we got money, the state can change their mind.
Okay, let's, move to item 10C, Humane Society.
Mayor and council members, next item on the agenda is the Marlboro County Humane Society. They presented an updated contract for consideration. It is in your package. And just let me know if you have any questions. Councilman McCray took the lead on this, so I appreciate him. He and I discussed it, and so it's before you tonight. Now, it is not in its final format, and it may have to tweak a couple words or something, but it is before you tonight. Its core content.
All right, Councilman Craig.
I would just ask if we could discuss this at the same workshop that we go discuss that, the other thing, so they can come too, because there's some things that they got in there that's required of us that I don't understand how we can do, like implement, I want to know more about how we implement that, program that they're talking about. So I would request that we discuss this at that same thing, and they could come in first and we can do them for 30 minutes to an hour, and then we go on, discuss the other administrative orders. But I think I would like to have both parties, so it won't be kind of a one-sided, thing. Because I do got questions about what they want of us too.
Okay, so you're making a motion to table
To
to the workshop.
So yeah, I'll make a motion to table it, to the next workshop.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
And now we have discussion.
motion been made,
I agree.
second. Any discussion? All in favor?
I just had a question though. So you're saying table it, can we set a date to come back to it? I feel like this has been dragging on for a long, long time.
Well, we said for that administrative ordinance that it would be within 2 weeks, so I'm just assuming within 2 weeks. I don't know.
You put it all on the same one. same
Yeah,
workshop.
that's what I'm asking, if we can do it at the same meeting.
I'll send everybody a date and then, you can let me know. All right, again,
Would that work?
Say the motion.
all right,
My
so,
motion was to table the Humane Society contract to the next workshop.
Second.
all right, motion been made and second, all in favor? Okay, and when we get down to item 10D, the administrators asked that we just defer that as well on the policy, new planning commission review of ordinance. Is that correct?
Yeah, we were asking you to defer this. We think we may need to do this as an ordinance amendment as opposed to like a policy change. So we just defer. And thank you, Councilman Craig. He and I talked about it earlier. He was asking for more information. I went back and did some research. And I was gonna put together a policy statement, but when we started talking about how this all fits in the duties of the planning commission, it probably need to be codified in the ordinance instead of a policy.
Okay, all right. Okay, at this time, we have public comments, non-agenda. Ask that, everyone still, we under the same rules for the public comments, and ask the speaker to address the council in a respectful and orderly manner. Ms. Best, please step up.
I'm just gonna touch on the Shady Rest and Richardson Park. It may not be the district, but if you could ride around and look and see what those neighborhoods look like, and imagine how you would feel if it was your neighborhood. That's all I'm saying about that. If y'all think I'm rude, I think it's rude to have, public people that want to comment sit for 2 hours to speak 3 minutes when you don't do anything about why I'm coming here. I haven't received my letter yet. But if I'm rude, I'm just gonna read what people are saying on Facebook because they are rude as well. So I'll just start and talk for 3 minutes. And if I could be included in the Humane Society workshop, I would like that. You said that like last year, you would include me, and you never did. I would like to be included if that's possible. I don't really have anything to do with Humane Society, but
You don't, so.
to me, it's a population control. I have a relationship with some of them, but to me, it's population control. I think that should be a
All right,
a
go
big
ahead,
part.
you go ahead, Chief.
I can say what I want. Well, this was in relation to July 4th and the fireworks. This was, this evening we have shootings, stabbings, and the usual fights to be accompanied way past the time allowed. Ear-splitting dog terror. Dog terror. And it's the city of Bennettsville. Yes, it's true. This was loose dog on Palmetto Street, brown and white. I touched on the packs of dogs killing. People of Lakeshore, please be careful keeping your pets in at night as there are violent dogs going around our neighborhood. My dog said he alerted me an hour ago. My dad scared off the dogs, but they ultimately killed my cat. My cats are all outside. Please be aware, Bennettsville. I didn't know they had this sort of problem until now. I'm so sorry. No one should have to go through this torture and turmoil. We had this happen in our neighborhood. Slade lost his cat at the hands of violent dogs as well. We have had a couple of dogs in our neighborhood as well. We've contacted animal control multiple times and nothing has been done. Last year's animal control didn't do nothing. This one, I had to call you, Mayor. Did you think that was ridiculous like I did? That's just one address. That's just one address. I can call you every day if animal control doesn't do its job. Which he's not. So sorry to hear this news. The amount of feral animals here is a big problem. I'm not a fan of the circle of life argument when it comes to my pets being harmed in their own yard, minding their business by stray animals. It has been 10 months since my 12-year-old beloved cat was attacked on his own yard by, this is different people. After being on TV telling about our cats being killed, the city was going to have workshops on this problem and try to solve it. That has never happened in 10 months. It's a shame that more precious cats have been killed by vicious dogs since mine was attacked. This should be a top priority for the city to find and hire someone to take care of the serious problem we have in Bennettsville. The next time it can be a human. I come in here 3 years ago. It sounds insane. I remind you 4 years ago.
Thank you, Ms. Best. Okay, we will move down to item 12A. Ms. Miller, Plan Commission met on the street name change.
The planning commission met on July 14th on the proposed street name change from Lawson Street to Mary B. Lane. It was unanimously voted in favor to recommend approving the street name change back to the city council. And it's here tonight for consideration and final action.
Okay. All right, so everything was approved on their end.
Yes,
Okay,
they were in favor of it.
all right. So is anything else that we need to do?
There's nothing you need to do,
Hold on.
just vote on it. That's
Vote
it.
on
Okay, right. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Okay.
Unless everybody has anything they want to add, go ahead.
I know that I asked before, but I know that it said something about like getting a petition of X amount of people on the street. So we don't have to go through that anymore.
You don't have to do that, but it's up to the council. It's either or. Like, once we make the recommendation to you on good faith, that we feel like that the planning commission finds favor in it, it's up to you guys to make the parameters. If you want to suggest getting that, the ordinance does not say you have to have that.
Okay. And how will that work with like, it won't be no cost on us, right, as a city? That would just be through DOT.
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And like, they'll handle all the changing of all that, and
Well,
what about notifying the residents?
911 and everything. The city has to put that in with the county that we're doing a street name change.
So what about the residents on that street
They will be notified through 911.
that their address is changing?
Mhm.
So 911 is gonna handle all that.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm glad that we got to this point, and I'm happy for it. But I still think, that's what I was getting at the first time. We need to kind of include the residents, in which I think we got time, because it's not on here for action. It's not on here to take no action on. So I think we got that, could we have that done by next month?
Yeah,
But
it's coming to y'all in August.
I'm talking about like the petition thing.
We can.
Can we have that in there?
Yeah, we can do whatever notification all of you want, if that's what you choose. I think what Ms. Miller helped me out, you may know this section better than me. I think she's saying in the ordinance, there's an option by which to move forward, and I think one route is asking for petitions, and you have to
Ask for
have
a
X
petition
amount.
of 75% of the residents, or you can, in good faith, recommend it. It's either or, you don't have to have that.
Or we
But
get
of
out the way.
course,
Yeah, but I'm just wondering, how would I feel one day if somebody come in, you know, my street name changed, I don't know nothing about it, I ain't have no say so in it. But if we do that petition kind of in accordance to the ordinance, I don't see it being a problem.
Yeah.
So I just think that we need to do that. I mean, if that's the case, then we go change, you know, we can get them tomorrow to change John Corey to Councilman McCray Way. And I have to send, or east, or, you know, change the whole Main Street to McCray Street and not tell anyone, you know. I would want to have some, and I'm not saying nothing bad against nobody, but I'm just saying, I'm all for it now, but I just want that step to be completed.
One thing,
And my people, oh, go ahead.
yeah, one thing I do have a question for Ms. Miller to make sure everything, did the planning commission advertise to everyone on that street?
it's in the paper. We
Okay.
have to put a notification in the paper.
But that's
It's
the
an open
only way we
public
did it.
hearing.
So probably what we'll do in the
Publications.
future is we'll continue to do an ad in the paper and probably get some mailers out too for everybody.
I think we need to stick to the petition.
Well, what I'm saying is,
People are on the street.
with or
They need
without,
input.
with or without the petition, you need to do it that way, even with your planning commission. You have to explore different ways of circulating information. It can't just be social media, can't just be the paper, can't just be sending out mail. I think you have to do a little bit of all three.
Now, we were just going by what the current ordinance says, but you can implement whatever
All
you
right,
want
we'll look
tonight
at it.
if you require that.
Okay, Councilwoman Hart got my hand up, then Sweet.
How many people live on Lawson Street?
I'm not sure, I did count about 8 vehicles on the street. But it could have been some people not home, I'm not sure.
Did any residents attend
No,
or
no,
they didn't
no
attend the
residents was at the meeting.
when did we first start discussing this?
It's been a couple months.
Couple months.
November.
Why hasn't anything been done to get feedback from the residents? Because I agree, I don't think, you know, to just assume that everybody on the street is gonna be okay with all the hoops that they would have to jump through to change their address. If they're fine with it, that's great, but I don't think it's fair to just assume that they're gonna be okay with it, and not make more of an effort to get their input on this.
So let me say this now, I wanna we can always question our policies and procedures and even our laws to see if they go far enough. But all we're doing are following our laws.
Right.
Right.
Our ordinances are 20 and 30 years old.
Thank you, Lord.
Should we have a process
See
or
that.
procedure where it's specific to how we advertise? From the jurisdictions I worked at professionally, all that's spelled out. It's spelled out what the planning commission does. It's spelled out like cases like this. It would tell you if you're gonna do a street name, you have to not only notify those who are on the street, but those who are on the adjacent or adjoining streets too. Because they will be affected too, even though their street name is not changing, they have to get used to going on a street that has now changed its name.
Right.
So, but that kind of stuff must be spelled out. I've worked in jurisdictions where if you do, it's spelled out where any rezonings, you must establish a half-mile buffer. And everybody in that half-mile buffer must receive mail correspondence to advertise that a rezoning is about to take place before council. So I don't think it's a matter of us getting not going far enough. I think we're just trying to figure it out with our old policies and procedures that are on the books. But the job is really for the planning commission. The planning commission, they advertised accordingly. They met the minimum, is what I'm saying. And maybe next time we'll go beyond the minimum, but we really need to do that by just updating some procedures so that we don't find ourselves just trying to hit and miss with this thing. If we're gonna do a name change, it needs to be in the paper. It needs to be mailed to, correspondence needs to go to everybody who's on the road, and we need to put it on social media, so no one can say things, just so we don't have that spelled out. So I don't want you guys to kind of view it as we didn't do enough because no one showed up.
But the current ordinance does say that the petitioner needs to provide documentation from 75% of the residents on the street that they approved the name change, and that hasn't been done, right?
I think that's one of the options.
It's an option. It does not say you have to have that. It's an option. To change a street name.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Weaver.
I think the residents of that street need to sign a petition requesting the change. And then present that to the planning commission, and as
So
long as
that-
everybody agrees.
Okay. Now, would that go, once petition, that would have to go back to the planning commission, or would it come to us?
It's something y'all
Yeah,
can-
Mr. Jennings is right.
Okay, go back to commission. Okay.
But can we make sure we do it by the next meeting, like, so we can kind of stay on schedule with it? Is that possible, like, to go ahead and, or is that too quick?
Well, doesn't the ordinance say that the petitioner does this, not the city?
No, it doesn't say that.
So it does. That's what I was saying. The way it's written, it appears that the petitioner is responsible for getting it. It's not on us.
Right.
Department wise, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. We've got to really follow our rules. It may not make sense. We may need to change those things. But that is an option that a citizen can take to start the process of getting a name, a street renamed.
Mhm.
And I think, help me out, Mrs. Miller, is one of the other options in there, it gives the department or the city some authority to initiate a change based off some circumstance? How does it read?
It reads, the Bennettsville planning staff may recommend to the city council a change in the name of any street within the jurisdiction of this chapter. A, when there is duplication of names or other conditions which lend to confuse the traveling public or delivery of mail, orders, or messages. B, at the petition of 75% of the street residents. Or C, upon any other good and just reason that may appear to the planning staff. That's it.
And that's vague.
That's it.
That's it. We need more there.
All right. So we'll do the petition, and then we'll take it back to the planning commission.
You have to have a motion.
We'll bring that back.
We need a motion for
Yeah.
that.
Actually,
Yeah, well, is it where we can? We can,
We'll just
okay,
send it back.
is
without
it,
objection. Keep it simple.
can a motion be made on that now?
It's before us. It's for us to make a decision, eh?
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's
Can we
for
send
us to make a decision.
Okay.
You know, let me ask this question, parliamentary. Is it possible to just, for us to say, we send it back to the planning commission without objection? And
Right.
then if there's no objection, then it'll still go on. That way, we technically won't be making a motion that's not listed on the thing.
Yeah, is there a motion on the floor right now?
No, we trying to,
And what y'all want to do is send it back?
yeah, without objection.
Sure. I can make a motion to send it back to the committee.
Okay. So,
Because there's no motion out there, right?
yeah, right.
Okay, I ask a motion that we send it back to the planning commission and for the petitions to be done and go back to the planning commission.
I make a motion to send it to the planning commission, for further review.
Okay, a motion been made. Do I have a second? I'll second. All in favor? All right.
Wait a minute.
All in favor? 1, 2, 3, okay. All opposed?
Well, you know, hold on. Now, I just thought of this. Do it really got to be sent back to, because it's not on here to take action, so we can
That's
just say,
Exactly.
so, yeah.
That's what I
So we
was
just
saying.
sending it back to the planning commission.
Yeah.
And y'all bring it, yeah, just have it ready by next month.
We have to carry
We
your
have to
vote.
carry the motion.
The vote, you got.
I withdraw my
Yeah,
motion.
Mr. Mason,
I withdraw the motion.
okay. He withdraw his motion, because I didn't think we had to make a motion.
It's already been voted and passed. It got the same result. It's going back to her.
All right.
Okay, all right, we'll move down to item 13, Finance Committee. Mr. Jennings?
The Finance Committee has met us a couple of times on the recent news and requests and all that, although we did recommend at the time, very beginning of different pay increases and pay results and pay things we talked about, a 3% increase, but that's not even applicable now to where we've gone and where it's going beyond that. The Planning Commission will be meeting again next Tuesday night to discuss, probably a long meeting. We have several things now we want to discuss and come out of the meeting tonight, as well as anything that comes between now and before the end of this meeting and in executive session concerning any increases to them. So we met, but what we met on and agreed to is not applicable now.
That's all you have?
Yeah, well, I shouldn't throw this in too, but yeah, what we met on is, and we'll still meet again on this, is revenue increases to do what we're trying to do with pay or whatever expenses we're incurring over and beyond the past budget. It's the right chance time.
Okay, public service?
We haven't met.
Okay,
Nothing to report.
all right, public safety?
Okay, I'm gonna try to be on a 5-minute time. All right, so, Public Safety Committee, Lord knows, we done met the most out of, I think, everybody. Because we done met about every other week almost, sometimes each week. But we have been between a rock and a hard place, I would say. You know, the other day, since I've been on council, the other day was the first time that I felt like I had my hands tied. Well, matter of fact, yesterday, because I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Seriously, with fire. Oh, Siri think I talked to her, but with fire and police needing increases, or I guess they'll leave. Now the fire department is good with a 3% increase for now. Let me add that. But I think we need to work on them and support them going into next year. So, all right, they work a 24-hour shift, right? But they only get paid for they don't get paid for the whole 24 hours. And that whole time, they have to stay there. In the middle of the night, they can't just go home, right? We want them on shift. So if we do that, then why don't we pay them for that? So I think going into next year, the number one thing we need to do is take them up to 24-hour pay. Okay, because they're not making nothing. And this with our law enforcement, I just got a proposal. We met with them yesterday. Me, Councilman Davis, and the mayor and Mr. Simon. We went over to each department. We started here, and then we entered that fire department to go over their plans. And they presented us a new plan. And I think theirs totaled over $100,000. And you know, I'm just real conflicted. I just don't know what we gonna do. I don't, honestly, right now, because we're in the middle of a budget. And that's just my opinion, that's just me speaking. But I'm just lost. Because they feel like they aren't heard and all that good stuff. And they don't feel like they pay is equal. And if you look at their salaries, you'll understand it's not. So we are in a budget year. So I'm planning to get with Councilman Jennings. I guess now before next Tuesday, so I can present him these numbers. So we can see what we can do. And I do know one of the main, and they're both short staffed. And we got to make some changes going in the next fiscal year, like ASAP. Or when a house is on fire, we ain't gonna have nobody to come to our rescue. Or when they have a shooting, we ain't gonna have nobody to come to our rescue. I know it's bad how I say things sometimes, but I don't mean it that way. It's true. I don't mean it the bad way. But like I said, they did talk about cost of living. One of the main things that I personally think has been a crippler is been this merit system. I don't agree with the way that it's being done, but they all agree that they want a cost of living adjustment, and that's reasonable. You know, we living in a frivolous time, and you know, prices and rates are going up and things like that. So we need to have them on the same thing. And then another thing, I know these people, and let me just say this before I wrap up. These people, they aren't asking for much, right? They asking for a little bit. So I think that we need to try to make it work how we can. But like I said, this year I know we're limited, but next year we really need to take a focus on doing that. So what I proposed in our meeting was to look at a public safety pay scale, and different other municipalities do it. So our fire and police, they're the only ones that operate full 24-hour shift, basically. Well, I mean, you know, the police, they work 12 hours, but I'm saying those two departments work nonstop. And so there are some other municipalities who have parameters in place where they have their salary, right? And each year, for maybe 5 or 6 years, they get a small increase, a small percentage increase. And then by that time, they'll be up to a great salary, a reasonable salary. And then the percentage dwindles down, but it's still something at the end of the day. But my point is, our public service people don't have anything to look forward to other than risking their life and just getting crumbs. So I think that they are all fed up and they are dependent on council to make something happen quick, fast, and in a hurry, because we are losing people by the week, literally. And if you look at your resignation portion of your weekly reports and in your packets, you've been seeing somebody from both departments on these lists. And these people can't work for nothing. And so they just want something reasonable for now. and they'll be satisfied with something decent. I wouldn't say with the bare minimum. They'll be satisfied with something decent. And the chiefs have informed me, I know Chief Burks have been working to trying to get, he said, an increase for like 6 years. You know, these people work 24-hour shifts and only make like $30,000 a year. And it was embarrassing for them to advertise those new positions. Because if you look at all these other fire departments, they making all this other money, and we ain't making nothing. So my point is, and I'm wrapping up for real, it's getting bad. We got to do something about it ASAP. So I'm gonna get with Councilman Jennings, hopefully by Tuesday, and we can go over these numbers, and then he and the finance committee can do something with it. But I just hope that it's really something that we can do, or we gonna be in a bad spot. But other than that, thank y'all for joining the meetings and let me drag y'all along yesterday. But thank you.
Are we ready to vote on a proposal to increase salaries for police and fire next month? I mean, whether it's implemented this fiscal year or next year. I mean, I think we've looked at a lot of good proposals.
Well, and if
yourself and Councilman Jennings, police chief, fire chief, they put forth some ideas. I mean, are we ready to implement something? I feel like it's time.
I feel like we're not, but every time we talk about it and we want to do something, the figure changes.
Yeah, it
changes.
changes.
We're
Yeah.
nowhere.
Cause
I wouldn't think we're any closer right now than we were 2 weeks ago, other than the desire to get something done is more.
yeah, because see, I thought we were
No,
somewhere.
right now, we're not ready. I'm not ready.
I thought we were somewhere because we had both departments kind of on a even level, you know, with I think that an amount that was attainable, but then the police department, they increased their amount. So it kind of put us back at like square one. So now I just got these figures. So I got to get with Councilman Jennings to see. And I think from my understanding with them, they weren't trying to make a big implication on the budget because we're already in a fiscal year. And I guess it would be kind of complicated to cut from somewhere at this point, or if we had somewhere to cut per se. I don't know. I know we got places to cut from, but I don't know. So I don't know. Like I say, I'm
It's gonna be
confused.
difficult. It's not something we're gonna do in a motion and a pass on one go. We need to study it. I mean, this is our public budget. It's not just ours. Yeah, I think we're gonna do something, and do what we can, and hopefully understand that it's gonna cause increases, but.
Right, they're either gonna be cuts to the budget or increases in revenue.
Well,
It's gonna have to take one or the other.
and then I think, you know, we projected our revenue to be increased. So I think that's kind of something, in my personal opinion, that I think will hold us back because we don't know if we even go hit that, you know.
Well, one thing we have came up with, we are there. We finally come up with numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and we got everybody's in place, the fire department and the police department. We came up with some numbers, and we all in agreement. Now we just got to bring it to the finance department and see, can we work it out?
Mm-hmm.
We in agreement now. We got numbers. We had the numbers.
Good. That's
Okay.
giant step forward.
Yeah, we are with the numbers now, so.
And then there are some small things we can do. So, for example, fire department, I guess a normal city worker, from my understanding, work an 8-hour shift, and then they accrue 8 hours of vacation time or PTO or however that works. But then somebody, I guess they work 24 hours and they only get those same 8 hours. You know, that's kind of confusing, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of their issues. And then I know with both departments, another small issue would be like holiday pay. So if they work up like on a Saturday or something, they don't, and the holiday is on the Saturday, they don't get that holiday pay. So those are two small things that I think that we can go ahead and get in the works and have hopefully done by next month. But I don't know, but yeah, we need a little more time on these salaries, on these increases.
Okay, is that everyone? I just would like to say, Councilman McCray, Councilman Jennings, Finance and Public Safety, that we will consider, and I brought it up before and I know it was rejected, but the two positions that the police department have, not saying to get rid of them altogether, put a hold on them, to freeze those positions. We in July now. We talking about starting our budget process in January. This would eliminate and give the police department and kind of trigger over to the fire department to give them everything they need. Now I'm for a cost of living, but now in the position I sit in, I'm for a cost of living for all our employees. So I just have to say that. But to get through what we need to get through, those two positions would put us there. Those positions to the police department, you would not lose those positions. They're just gonna be put on hold as a freeze. That would eliminate, because I just, I understand the law enforcement, public safety is very important. But we have to look at what we can do right now. We're trying to force a lot of things, and we could eliminate that by those two positions. I'm just asking for y'all to consider and speak with our Chief Crossland and Chief Burke to get through this year. And it won't affect the cuts. It won't affect, putting increases. From my understanding, it would put us where we need to be. And that get through this year and January, hopefully we'll have a better year, that we'll have time and we can spend this time to think about what we can do, how we can do, so we'll be better prepared. That's just my suggestion.
And the police department did offer up to freeze one position. They did, to offset the cost of council. And then there was some talks about two, but then, and I understand about it even spilling over into the fire department, but if we freeze two police positions, then that need to go to just the police department. That's just my opinion. I don't know about it being shared, but I think if we cut two, then if we freeze two, then we're gonna come back next year and be in the same predicament. And then guess what? They're gonna have to keep them froze again. So that's the only, remember we talked about it yesterday. Yeah. So that's the only place that I'm at.
Let me say this so I'll be clear for the citizens that's watching. I'm not trying to say we taking away from the police department law enforcement that's already there. These positions, I came on council and I've been on council for 8 years and then I came into mayor. Those positions open at that time. If I'm not mistaken, is that right, Chief Crossland?
It is due to the leadership position, that's why.
Oh, okay.
And the lack of substantial pay.
Right. So those positions was open. Only thing I'm just asking as consideration, so that we can get through this, so we can compensate our police and fire for the job that they do, and look at, as in the new budget year, look at what we can do for all our employees. Okay.
What's the dollar amount on freezing those two positions?
One of them was $59,360 something dollars. That's with the salary and the fringe, if I remember correctly.
You're right.
Yeah. So that was that. And then, I don't know, like I said, we'll discuss this later on, but I'm just conflicted, because then they had four positions that they always say, and those positions were taken and never given back. So I don't want that to be the same case.
I got something to say really quick. They just want to be competitive. All around, all the other cities is doing better than we are. We just got to step it up and get competitive. If we don't, then that's where we lose to them. It's just plain and simple. That's all I got.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to reports and information. At this time, we have Mr. Sparkman.
Good afternoon, Mayor.
Not sharp.
Good evening.
Yeah,
That's right. Afternoon
Yeah.
while I'm gone yet.
Good evening, almost.
Positively, we are on budget projections for this year. In fact, we're 3% above for these first 2 months. And I've looked back over the previous years and we met them consistently in previous years. But budget projections, that's not necessarily money. But at least it is, we are receiving what we're supposed to be receiving during that particular time period we're supposed to be receiving. Other than that, but we feel encouraged. We've got already planning for the audit for this year. We've already I reached out to Mr. Millhouse today about that, so we hope to have that done by the holidays. Any questions?
I want to say, is it on me? I want to say thank you for, because I looked at it and you know I was going to ask about what this was, what that was, and I see you wrote it up in there by it. So thank you. That went over there. You shut me up. But
Wow, I gotta keep.
but thank you for that, Mr. Spot.
Well, I give my right hand, our partners together, finance manager and I, we have one even better.
Okay, don't brag too much.
Mrs. Sparkman, if I can ask,
I'm just saying.
you don't see much of Mrs. Robinson. Mrs. Robinson, you just come up for a second.
Yeah, that's
Mrs.
what-
Robinson is our finance manager. She works closely with Mr. CFO. And she is really the wizard behind the curtain that's making it happen with our numbers. Me and Sam, we just play and talk in the office and drink coffee. But she is really doing all the work. She came to us from the county, lots of experience, and so we certainly appreciate you, Megan.
Thank you for your hard
Thank you,
work.
Ms. Megan.
Thank you for
Keep
your
it
hard
work.
I'm trying.
All right.
And I got one more question. So, you know how we were just talking about we might not get some of that $300,000 to $400,000 back. And I've been asking for a few months about like this housing repayment and housing assistance thing. Could those funds possibly be recouped since we don't know what it's for? We don't know what we're gonna use it for. Could that help
Get Ms. Simon
with
to talk
that
about that.
balance?
If we can look it out, if we can wait to, first of all, we don't want to count that money before it comes in. But if we can wait, we get it in and then look at our economic conditions at that time before we start talking about committing it. Because keep in mind, whenever we paid out that money, it was unplanned. So there are voids that we still need to go and take a look at whenever we were paying that money out. So whatever idea you have, we're open to it. But I was just asked, let us wait and see. We anticipate not getting the money back for 3 homes. And I think for those 3 homes, I think Mrs. Hart, I think you were about to ask that question. You got cut off or something where you want to know how much approximately it was going to be. And it wasn't much. I think we'll get you that exact figure, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't something that was going to be really impactful to that 300. We anticipate getting most of that money back into the fold. So if we just want to consider the economic conditions and kind of run through finance committee before we commit.
Yeah, because I've been asking about what these are for, and can't nobody, y'all keep on saying y'all will get back and y'all trying to do something with it, and we got like $55,000.
He's talking about this little bit. We
Yeah,
checked on that, Mr. Simon and I both, that money was transferred to us from the county several years ago. And there is a little bit of activity in one of the funds, and Mr. Simon and I both, we realize that somebody makes payment toward that. But they were really, by law, were restricted. They could not just be taken and just done away with without some proper, going through the proper channel. But it was from county money from years ago, back in the 70s.
Yeah.
That's what you understand. So
It's
that
a
money been
program
around
that's
a long
still
time.
It's a program for some reason that's still on the books. So it's
Right.
generating revenue, but it's small.
Yeah.
And we've been really trying to dive deep into it before we just kind of cut it off, because money is coming in. Like every now and then a payment will come in. And so that's where we are with that. You gotta figure out what's going on.
All right, thank you, Ms. Sparkman.
Good job. Keep
Jones.
up the good work.
I had a question regarding the audit. So Mr. Millhouse was here in May and presented the audit. That was for 2024, right? So, and we're waiting on 2025?
He's already put it in place that we'll be getting the stuff for that too.
So has he started that audit?
He presented the audit for 2025.
Right.
So now the one that he will be presenting in,
25.
hopefully November, will be for FY 26,
Must be good.
fiscal year 2026.
Yeah, yes.
So that's the year that we're working on now. This
And what's
current
happening
fiscal
is,
year.
the audit was a little later than we wanted it to be last year. And so he started early this year.
Okay.
So that's why you're hearing his name already. No, ideally, we would like for you guys to get a completed audit
Before.
in December or January. December ideally.
Right.
That didn't happen. You guys got it this year, what?
In May.
In May.
Last
And so
year,
it seems like he did a good job with it. So what we want to do is get back on that track of you guys getting it in the December timeframe. And so he's starting early.
Why was it so late?
Good question.
I've had a number of issues that come up. I can't share at the council meeting with personal issues with Mr. Millhouse and a few others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good question.
All right, thank you. All right, at this time we have Ms. Jones.
We have,
Happening, Brittany. I did not get a promotion, by the way, notwithstanding what the agenda says.
The other Miss Jones.
And I promise to be very quick. We're administering approximately 20 grants. Everything is going as they proceed. I also present a spreadsheet pretty regularly. Well, actually, I maintain it on the OneDrive, so all the time it's updated continuously to administration, which records that for the calendar year 2026, I applied for slightly over $28 million worth of grant funds. Just this past month, 3.7. Okay, that was quick.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The 3 grants that I applied for were all through FEMA, but different agencies administer them.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, we'll have Ms. Jahara Gray.
Mine is gonna be a little longer. So good evening, everyone. Because I just want to give you guys an update of what's happening in July and what's to come. So the USDA approved 4 mini grants in July for the TPR departments to celebrate Parks and Rec Month. Thank you, Lisa Jones. So on July 15th, we had our Red Bull tennis event for everyone at Smith Park with the Marlboro County Special Needs and Disability Board. AMI Kids Sand Hills, our TPR team, tennis instructor, I'll say junior tennis instructor Mackenzie Douglas, and members of the community. Participants had an amazing time learning the fundamentals of red ball tennis. So much so that we've recruited some new tennis lovers. We'd like to thank our beverage sponsors, Priority One and Pepsi, for keeping everyone refreshed and hydrated throughout the day. Last week, Friday, we had our kids' play day in the park. A huge thank you to Sapaco for the generous donation, which helped make this event possible. We had a water slide, played red ball tennis, games, music, provided free food and beverages for everyone. Scotland Health, excuse me, Care South, and Simply Breast survivors participated with giveaways and information for attendees. Tomorrow, we have our Minion Mania movie night at the community center. The doors will open at 7. The movie will begin at 8. Trinity Behavioral Health has partnered with us to provide the movie, popcorn boxes, backpacks, and education stations. Plus, the mayor will be giving out freshly popped popcorn. We will also have additional community partners in attendance with goodies to give out before the movie begins. This Thursday, July 23rd, we have Sports Day. This event is designed to introduce participants to multiple sports and activities through hands-on experience to play and engage with others. Kids and adults will have the opportunity to enjoy volleyball, toss football, red ball tennis, soccer, frisbee, and cornhole. We will reschedule our Hoop Fest for a date in August as the event was canceled due to extreme outdoor temperatures. Don't forget National Night Out on Tuesday, August 4th at NETC from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Just contact the police department if you would like to participate or make a donation. That's it. Good night.
Thank you so much. Okay, all right. At this time, Mr. Simon, item 15, A, B, and C.
Yeah, Mayor and council members, for 15, A, B, and C, I'll just go ahead and tell you, B, we just attached that information for, that document for informational purposes. It's already been circulated. For C, the organizational charts, I want to put that on next month's agenda or maybe try and squeeze it in the same workshop that all of you want to do. So while we're talking about all of that, I can get feedback from you, and then we can maybe make some decisions. I said, so y'all can make some decisions on your organization and move forward. For my administrator's report, I just simply want to say thank you to my staff. They mean so much to me, and they are all doing a wonderful job, and all of you need to know that. I know we often get criticized whenever people see things or think certain things, but just know we have a utilities department that is working all through the day and night. We have our electric folks all out hours of the night. They're doing all they can, sometimes with subpar equipment. We have our water, Mr. Johnny Roscoe cannot even keep up with all the things that he is doing. I'm trying to give him everything he needs to include rest and grace. Our wastewater, Mr. David Hoover, Jordan at our treatment plant is doing an outstanding job. My administrative personnel is doing an outstanding job. Fire and police is doing an outstanding job.
Man.
I always like to recognize just people that have just really stepped up. I can't say enough about Mr. Donald Hamilton and Chief Burks, but Donald has really just kind of lend his expertise and helps us out with a lot of different things. Administratively, the team up at City Hall is just really working at 100 miles per hour. They are all doing well. They deserve a thank you sometimes, and not the criticism that they receive all the time. I'm okay with it. It's what I signed up for. But for my team who's out there working hard and doing everything they can, to them, y'all remember this real quickly. Leadership is about serving everyone, not just the loudest and the most rude voices. As leaders, we must appreciate those who show up, support the mission, and work together to move the organization forward. It's easy to become consumed by the few who criticize or resist change, but if we focus all of our energy there, we risk overlooking the many who believe in the vision and contribute every day. True leadership requires gratitude, perspective, and courage. Be thankful for those who encourage progress, invest in the people who are committed to excellence, listen to every single voice because all that matters. But don't allow a small minority to dictate your purpose or derail your mission. Leadership is not about pleasing everyone. It's about making principled decisions that serve the greater good. Administrator, that's my report for tonight.
All right, we'll start with non-agenda. Anyone have any non-agenda?
Personally, I just like to thank everyone, everybody to come out tonight, to see the work that we do, and it's not easy. When you're dealing with government stuff, a lot of times it don't get as fast as we want to get here. All our public work, all our employees, as Mr. Simon just touched on, I'll be up and down the town all during the day, sometime during the night, stay on the mission, trying to help as much as I can, and I see them working. I see them all in the city, everywhere I go. City employees are really doing their job as much as they can. A lot of times we are down with trucks, don't have the proper equipment, but they still out there working, making it happen. Got the boom truck full, got another small truck, picking up all kind of debris all over the place. My hand and my hat go out to the employees. Y'all continue to do the work. And I simply want to say one more thing, that we must get competitive, meaning that's across the board. We got to do that. Thank you.
Next.
I'm good. Well, you know I got something to say. I heard someone get up and say something about somebody.
That they hired to come in, they're awesome.
Yeah.
And I just wanna just give them a shout out. Also, I just wanna thank all the citizens that came out tonight, and especially to the citizens that are still here with us right now.
Yeah.
You know, that really says a lot, that means a lot, and I appreciate that. And I just wanna say to all our employees, I want you to know that you serve the city. Without you, you know, we couldn't do it by ourselves. We could not do it by ourselves. And I want you to know that I want to assure you, each of you, I'm available for you, and I will be visiting all the departments. But I want to hear your ideas. I want to come and I want to hear what you got to say. I want to hear any ideas, any suggestions. I want to hear from you. I want you to know that anytime you want to talk, and I'm speaking for me, anytime you need to talk to me, please feel free. No, I'm not here to micromanage administration, but as employees, you are citizens and you are voters as well. And I want to hear from you. Because as a supervisor, when I used to be a supervisor, it wasn't the captains or the lieutenants I wanted to talk to. Who I wanted to talk to was the officers. Because you down there and you know how things could work better, ideals that would improve. So I want to hear from the staff. I want to hear from the employees. So I just want to let you know I will be coming to visit all departments, and don't be afraid to talk to me. And to our citizens, I can't thank you enough again, because without you, it would be no city. The citizens, you make this city, because we couldn't operate without you. And for that, I say I really appreciate you. I just want to kind of touch base real quick, because I know we have an executive session to go into. Whenever the public comments are being made, what we do, we doesn't respond at that time, because we want to be able to collect information to make sure that we're giving accurate information. So that's why I didn't respond back earlier. But I want to say that I want to thank our animal control officer, Mr. John Walters. He went and investigated what the situation Ms. Bess was speaking on. And what happened was, it had rained, I guess, that day or night before. And I guess Ms. Bess had an opportunity to be able to walk around and go in the back of houses and everything else when she delivered mail in the front. But what happened was, the property owner had left, the water had just flooded out everything in the back. So he put his dog in the cage in a dry area in the backyard, so that fenced in area could dry. And as soon as it dried, he was gonna put his dog back out. So it wasn't that he was trying to have the dog where he was mistreating the animal or anything like that. Another thing I like to say is that I know Ms. Bess never mentions this, but she had asked me about a year ago that her and her husband wanted to put together some dog houses, and she needed material. So I got with a company that donated that material. Now, I haven't heard anything, if the dog houses were made or anything like that. But I just want to let you know that we are working to try to do the best that we can, and to make us I see you waving your hand, but we want to try to do the best that we can, because I have an animal, I have a dog, and I love it. So I know that if anyone that has animals, I know that they're part of the family. Mine is shown as part of my family. So we want to treat them just like we don't want to mistreat them, is what I'm saying.
Just one correction, Mr. Walters is our code enforcement officer.
I'm sorry.
He's helping
Yeah.
out with animal control.
Yeah.
Animal control is
Thanks.
a position.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
But that's all I have. I just want to share that, because a lot of that doesn't get told. And one thing about it, I respect Ms. Bess being consistent, because she's consistent in what she believes in. And I respect her for that. Okay, at this time, item 17, Mr. Simon, if you'll speak briefly on that. The water quality.
Water quality. So that's the group that came in and wanted us to entertain using their water quality units in our city. And I think they've since then, or trying to get a meeting with the county, I'm not sure.
Okay.
And so they've just been calling, asking for a follow-up, and I think we put it on the agenda tonight just to see if council has an appetite for moving forward in that direction. If not, I'll go ahead and communicate that so everybody can kind of move on.
Okay, well, council, if y'all will let Mr. Simon know, go ahead.
But as of right now, no,
Okay,
I don't think so, because they gave us a whole packet and it had stuff related to data centers. Then I asked him, he said that don't have nothing to do with it, and it's all in the thing. I got it right here in my bag. And they are from, I think the presentation was rushed, and I don't like that they came to, or however that work, we allowed them to come and just do something for their business right here. I think the better way would have been to kind of see when some council were available, and we kind of go from there, and then we bring it before the people. I just don't like that. It was pushed on us, I feel, but I don't think that we kind of have the funds to pay for that kind of equipment, because we'll need a few of them. And so for right now, I don't think, I'm not for it. I ain't want to entertain them. Maybe next year, a few years from now, then yeah, but not right now. That's
Okay.
just me.
all right, I see a hand over here. All right, okay, all right,
Okay, that's it.
okay, all right, I'll ask a motion, to go into executive session.
So moved.
All right, it's been moved.
We gotta say, remember,
Yeah.
they got us last time.
Oh, yeah.
Make a motion to go into executive session to discuss
Okay.
personnel matters in this
All
issue.
right, thank you, dear. Thank you, dear council. All right, I'd like to ask for a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel matter.
I was trying to make a motion just now, but that's what I was doing.
So you made the motion.
Yes.
Second.
All right, second. All in favor? All right. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 5. All opposed? Okay. All right.
Wait here when you get out.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, you go.
into regular meeting from executive session, from discussing personnel matters. No votes, no actions were taken. At this time, if we don't have anything, meet adjourned.